Traverses both of Gods. This happened 6 months ago at around midnight, and I still get chills thinking about it. I work as a night security guard at a hospital in the city. My shift runs from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. The hospital where I work is older, built in the 1970s, and honestly it has always felt a bit strange. The night shift is usually quiet. Traverses both of Gods. I walk around the different floors, check hallways, make sure everything is secure. Most nights I just listen to podcasts and do my rounds. People sometimes joke about the hospital being haunted, but I never believed in that stuff. I am a rational person. I do not believe in ghosts or spirits. I believe in what I can see and touch. The greater traverses both of Gods. That changed one night in August. I was on my usual rounds around 12:30 a.m. I finished checking the third floor and was heading toward the stairwell to go down to the second floor. The hospital was completely silent except for the hum of the fluorescent lights and the occasional beep from a monitor somewhere. That is when I heard it. The two reserved them to greater traverses, a child's laughter, not from a room, but echoing through the hallway itself. It was a high-pitched, innocent-sounding laugh like a little kid playing. I stopped moving immediately. I looked around, but the hallway was empty. Every single door was closed. I convinced myself that maybe it was coming from outside or from a television in one of the rooms. To greater traverses both of Gods. I continued walking toward the stairs. Then I heard it again. This time it was louder, and it seemed to be coming from the direction I was walking. The laugh was so clear, so distinct. It was a child, maybe around 7 or 8 years old, and they were laughing as if they were having the time of their life. My heart started racing. Greater traverses both of Gods. I turned on my radio to call down to the front desk and ask if anyone else had heard it. Before I could speak, the laughter stopped abruptly. Just stopped. No fade out, no trail off, complete silence. I asked the desk anyway. They said it was quiet down there, no visitors, no children in the hospital. I was the only person on that floor. To greater traverses both of Gods decided to investigate. I walked down the hallway toward the stairwell, checking every door. All the patient rooms were occupied by sleeping adults, no children. The pediatric ward was on a different floor entirely. I went downstairs and checked the second floor. Same thing. Empty hallways, sleeping patients, no sign of any child. To greater traverses both of Gods. By now I was genuinely creeped out, but I tried to rationalize it. Maybe someone left our recording playing. Maybe it was coming from outside. Maybe my ears were playing tricks on me from exhaustion. But deep down I knew what I heard was real. At around 1 a.m. I was checking the basement level where we keep supplies and maintenance equipment. It is reserved into greater traverses both of Gods. It is the oldest part of the hospital, basically unchanged since the 70s. The lights down there are dimmer and it always feels colder than the rest of the building. As I walked past the old storage room, the one that is usually locked because it is not being used anymore, I noticed the door was slightly ajar. Both of Gods. I knew it had been locked when I checked earlier. I always make note of locked doors. I pushed it open slowly. The room was pitch black. I shined my flashlight inside, and what I saw made my blood run cold. In the center of the room was a small red bicycle, a child-sized red bicycle just sitting there in the middle of the floor. The room smelled strange. We reserved them to greater traverses both of Gods, like old dust and something sweet that I could not quite identify. I swear my heart stopped for a moment. I immediately closed the door and locked it with my key. I called my supervisor right away and told him what I found. He came down and we opened the door together. The bicycle was gone. Completely gone. I checked every corner of that room with my supervisor. To greater traverse both of Gods. Nothing. He looked at me like I was crazy. He said maybe I was confused about which storage room I had gone into. But I knew exactly where I had been. I showed him the locked door I had opened. There was no sign of any bicycle ever being in that building. For the rest of my shift I could not focus. I kept hearing that child's laughter in my head. Drove them to greater traverses both of Gods. Over the next few weeks I did some research about that hospital. Turns out that in 1983 a 7-year-old boy named Tommy Chen disappeared from the pediatric ward. He had been admitted for a broken arm, but the next morning he was just gone. They never found him. No explanation, no trace, nothing. To greater traverses both of Gods. When I read his name and saw his picture in an old newspaper article from the archives, I felt something shift inside me. The picture showed a smiling boy with dark hair. He was holding a small red bicycle, the exact same shade of red as the bicycle I had seen in that storage room. I have not been back to that basement since. Greater traverses both of Gods. I finished out the rest of my contract at that hospital working day shifts instead. My supervisor never questioned it. I think that maybe he believed me after all. I still do not have any logical explanation for what happened that night. I hear that child's laughter sometimes in my dreams, and I still cannot explain it.